the call that the president had last night with President Xi of China. It seems from the president's tweets that it was positive and constructive, perhaps more so than people may have expected. And I wondered whether it's possible that the tariffs on China could be lifted temporarily while all countries are working together to fight the virus and fight its economic effects.
Well, as the president said publicly, Wilf, he had a lengthy and positive call with President Xi last night. And as was the focus about this time yesterday with G20 leaders, President Trump is completely focused on confronting the coronavirus here in the United States. But we're working with China. We're learning the lessons. I know they spoke at great length about China's experience with the coronavirus, and we're applying those lessons here. We're listening to our top scientists, and we're analyzing the data. And we are now about almost to the end of our 15 days to slow the spread. And these measures, in addition to the strong measures that governors have been taking with our full support in places like Washington State, California, and of course New York, and now adding Louisiana, Michigan, and elsewhere. We're going to continue to lean into this. We're going to continue to identify supplies around the country and around the world. And I know that President Trump had a productive discussion last night with President Xi, as he did with 19 other world leaders yesterday.
As you said, Mr. Vice President, nearing the end of that initial 15 days, and the President said recently he'd like to see the economy opened up again, if possible, by Easter. Right. How likely is that, and what conditions need to be met for it to happen?
Well, the President expressed really an aspirational goal, Wilf, that as we continue to follow the data, as we continue to call on every American, regardless of whether they're in an area where there's a significant outbreak of coronavirus, to put into practice the 15 days to slow the spread. And we're incredibly inspired by the way the American people and businesses have been stepping forward to put these mitigation practices, social distancing into effect. We think the more we do that, the more we can hasten the day that the President said he would love to see it around Easter, but whenever that day is, that we can responsibly begin to open up portions of the country. But let me be very clear, there's going to be areas of the country where we need to continue to lean into mitigation efforts. And notably, it would be the greater New York City area, of course, including New Jersey. We're tracking New Orleans right now. We're tracking Detroit, of course, Seattle and California. But there are areas of the country, as Dr. Deborah Birx said yesterday at our press briefing, where there's, frankly, very little outbreak of the coronavirus. And as the President told governors in a letter yesterday, we're going to be examining that data on a county-by-county basis. And in the days ahead, we're going to be giving guidance specifically to different regions of the country about how, as the President says, we might be able to open up the country and get America back to work just as soon as we responsibly can.